Hey guys, what's going on? It's MassiveJoes Masterclass and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Guys, welcome to my new kitchen. Those of you who have seen the past episodes of MassiveJoes Masterclass will notice that everything going on back here looks a little different, man. In the new crib, got the new kitchen going on. Gonna make all kinds of awesome recipes for MassiveJoes Masterclass. Today, we're gonna be cooking up something that a lot of people have been asking about, man. It's the protein pancakes. The protein pancakes, an awesome meal any time of day, in particular for breakfast. All right, so let's get straight to it. What you're gonna need, you're gonna need yourself some quick oats, some whole grain quick oats. They have to be quick oats because if they're not quick oats, you're gonna not have a nice looking pancake. You're gonna need to grab yourself some eggs as well. Then you're gonna need to get yourself a fork, a bowl to mix your batter up in, and a plate to serve your pancakes on. You're gonna need, of course, have yourself some amino acids in a Team MassiveJoes shaker. Gotta keep yourself anabolic while you do this recipe. Gotta get yourself some macadamia oil. Now you can use any type of oil. I like to use macadamia oil because it tastes delicious. Gotta get yourself a food scale, of course, should have one of these in your kitchen. Gotta get yourself a spatula and a really good non-stick pan, right? Because the pancake's gonna cook in this, you don't want them sticking all over the pan. A good, heavyweight non-stick pan. And then, the champion of the recipe is your protein powder. Now, I like to make my protein pancakes with BSN Synthesis 6. In particular, the chocolate cake batter flavor makes it delicious chocolate pancakes. So that's what you can do. This recipe will pretty much work with any protein powder. I haven't tried it with casein, to be honest, but it'll probably work with casein as well, man. But any protein powder, just pick one that's got a really nice flavor, chuck that in your mix as well. And then the last but not least, I don't have it out because it lives in the freezer, but if you want to top this with like some frozen blueberries or something like that, man, that would be delicious as well. You can chuck that in that recipe. But before we get started, if you have not seen the MassiveJoes Masterclass on how to separate egg whites, I'm gonna throw a link right here. Click that link, go watch that, because you're gonna need to know how to separate egg whites before we even get started in that recipe. So click that link, watch that, and then let's get cracking on how to make up our pancake batter. All right guys, so you just checked out that video on how to separate egg whites, or you already know how to separate egg whites. Welcome back, let's get cracking on this pancake batter. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your egg whites and your egg yolks. So you've separated them. Now you gotta keep in mind, this is gonna be a substantial component of your protein in your protein pancakes. So keeping in mind that one egg white is gonna get you about 4 to 5 grams of protein, and then one egg yolk is gonna get you about 6 to 8 grams of protein and also about 5 grams of fat. So for me, what I'm aiming for here is I'm aiming for about 35 grams of protein and 5 grams of fat from the eggs alone. So for me to get that, I'm talking about, I've got 6 egg whites in here and 1 egg yolk. So I'm gonna drop all of that in there, just like that. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that bowl, we're gonna put that bowl on that scale there, because the next thing we're gonna do is gonna add our carbs. Now the carb source for the protein pancakes is these quick oats over here. Now make sure you're using quick oats, not full oats, because you are gonna cook them in the pan, right? You don't want no chunky bits in your protein pancake. So for me, I'm aiming for about 30 grams of carbs from my quick oats. So that's about 50 grams of uncooked oats. So keep in mind that 100 grams of uncooked oats is gonna get you about 60 grams of protein, 60 grams of carbohydrates. So you can work it out from there. Figure out how many grams of carbs you need. Last but not least, man, gotta get you your protein powder in your protein pancake. So I personally love to use Synthesis 6. In particular, the chocolate cake batter flavor is delicious, man. It makes these fantastic tasting chocolate pancakes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop myself 1 scoop of Synthesis 6 in here. Now that's gonna add for me another 22 grams of protein. So it's all in together, it's gonna get me about 60 grams of protein, another 15 grams of carbohydrates, so about 45 grams of carbs all up. And then the Synthesis 6 has also got a fat component to it as well, so about 6 grams per scoop. So I'm gonna get myself 1 nice level scoop. I'm just gonna drop that in there with those egg whites, egg yolks, and my quick oats. Then you just gotta get your stir on, man. You gotta get your stir on. So chuck the lid back on that protein, grab that fork in there and start mixing. Now, it's not gonna mix easy, right? Because there's no water in there. It's quite a thick consistency, so it's not gonna mix real easy. Just stay with it. Use a fork, it's easier than using a whisk. Get in there, just make sure you just keep mix it up. It's gonna take you about a minute, maybe even 2 minutes. Make sure you pull all those edges in, bring all that powder and the egg whites and the oats from the outside of the bowl, pull that into the inside and keep stirring, man, until you get a nice smooth consistency, then let's go. Let's go to the dark side. Let's go over to the stove and let's cook these protein pancakes up. All right, guys, so welcome to the stove, what I like to call the dark side, man, because I busted this light up in here. So we're gonna deal with some shadows on this, but it's all good. So the first thing you wanna do is you're gonna preheat some of this macadamia oil over here in the pan. So you just the first thing you wanna do is you wanna turn that pan on, so turn the gas on, get some of that going on. Sometimes I gotta do a little bit of a, just to light this thing up. There you go, turn that on. Chuck the pan on there. Now you want to put a little bit of macadamia oil. Now you do have to keep in mind that the protein batter is going to soak up this macadamia oil. So this is going to contribute to the fat content of these protein pancakes. So I like to use a tiny little bit, man, just about 5 mils. And what I like to use it for is it's just going to prevent the pancake from sticking to my non-stick pan. If there's any chance of the pancake sticking to this thing, that has been completely obliterated by the tasty, delicious macadamia oil. So you're just gonna have to swirl that around. It's gonna take this pan a little bit of time to actually heat up. So we're gonna swirl that around. We're gonna come back when that's ready to go. Okay, so as you can see, man, that oil is pretty much heated. You can see when it starts to move around in the pan like that, that it's heated up. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna turn that heat right down, right? Turn it right down, as low as it can possibly go. Do not overcook these pancakes, guys. So turn that down, get a nice covering with that oil on that pan there. Then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take your batter, straight like that. No, there's no camera tricks here. Just take that, just like that. You're gonna pour yourself in just a little bit into this pan, right? So pour that in, just on top of that macadamia oil, all right? Just enough to make a nice, beautiful little pancake like that. Then while that's still cooking right in there, you're gonna just whirl that around a little bit, right? And what that's gonna do is gonna give you that nice circular shape. You want a nice thin pancake as well. So if I just left it like that, it's gonna be a nice thick, rissole looking, disgusting pancake, right? I just want a nice thin pancake. So you can move that pan around just like that. Let that cook. Now let that cook, man, on low heat like that. It's probably gonna take about 2 minutes. So we're gonna leave that, let that cook for about 2 minutes, come back, flip that thing over, and we've got ourselves a nice protein pancake. All right, so we've left that a few minutes, right? You can see the bubbles starting to come through here. Now, it's very important you don't overcook these pancakes. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your spatula, and that spatula should just slide right up underneath that. You see that? See how easy that was? Feel how light that pancake is? What you're gonna do, you're gonna flip that around. Look at that. Look at that. See that? That's perfectly cooked. No brownness, no blackness, no charcoaling going on. That's perfect. Now, because that side is cooked through, cooking the other side is gonna take, man, probably tops a minute. So keep a close eye on this, let it cook through for about a minute, and it's gonna be ready to eat that thing. All right, so that's been about a minute. You can see a little bit of smoke starting to come up on the outside there, man. That means it's perfectly cooked. Don't leave it on any longer than this, right? Don't leave it on any longer or else you're gonna burn that underside. What you can do is you can get up in there, flip it, just to make sure, look at that. Nice and crispy, nice and beautiful. Grab your plate. That's pancake number 1 done. Then what you can do, man, just repeat the process, right? You still got a bunch of pancake batter in there. So once again, just slide some more pancake batter. Just like that. I'm gonna try and make 3 pancakes with this pancake batter I got here. Just like that. And then the same thing once again, man. So just move that around. Get that nice pancake going on in there. Nice and thin. Look at that. Just let it slide. How long will I slide? Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's Red Hot Chili Peppers, yeah. There you go. Let that sit once again, man. Couple of minutes on this side. Come in there, flip it over. Got yourself pancake number 2. All right, so there we go, man. That's pancake number 3. It's all done, all cooked, ready to go. That's the biggest pancake. Grab your plate. Got my first 2 on there. I'm gonna throw that bad boy on there. Got myself them 3 nice pancakes. Let's go and finish this thing off. All right, guys, so there you go, man. We've got ourselves 3 of those beautiful, delicious Synthesis 6 protein pancakes. I'm gonna go finish them off. As I mentioned before, I've got a little surprise for y'all. Some frozen blueberries. I'm gonna just dump those straight on there like that, and they're gonna nicely melt with, look at the steam coming off them. You know what you gotta do at this point. Smell them gains. So guys, look, that is how to do your synthesis or any type of protein pancakes, depending on which protein powder you use. As I mentioned before, so this for me, it looks like about 50 to 55 grams of protein. I got about 45 to 50 grams of carbs and about 15 grams of fat by the time I count my egg yolks, the macadamia oil and all of that stuff in there, man. So that's my protein pancake. That's my breakfast quite regularly. You can, like I said, you can mix up the protein, carbs and fat just by adjusting the eggs, the egg yolks, the oil, and what protein powder you use. Guys, you know what you have to do. You know, hit the subscribe button. It's right up here, man. Hit that subscribe button. Make you staying up to date with all of the new episodes of MassiveJoes Masterclass. Everything else we do on YouTube, guys, that is MassiveJoes Masterclass. I'm gonna go get me some gains. I got my knife and fork going on in here. Gonna destroy these synthesis protein pancakes, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com.